David Wygant, 10-minute daily reality check. Today and only today am I going to expose the Jedi mind tricks that men use on women. So this episode, for all of you men, you need to know that women are onto your Jedi mind tricks. So when you hear these Jedi mind tricks that you are using, they will certainly say he just used a Jedi mind trick, because women put it in what I call the Jedi mind trick bank. You say it to them on a Thursday, and they start to process it very, very slowly. And then about a month later, you catch a buzz with them, and then all of a sudden it all comes pouring out. And you think to yourself, shit, I thought I was home free, man. I thought the Jedi mind trick worked. Women, this podcast you will spread all over the internet because, well, it's just time that you got wise to these Jedi mind tricks, because I'm kind of tired of hearing emails from you that you've been going out with this guy for 6 months and he looks like Luke Skywalker, but basically he is Darth Vader. So
you said that they're aware of it immediately, and actually I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I think that it's almost like eating a meal. It's like you're hungry and then you get like a bunch of candy, right? And you're like, oh, the candy, it tastes good, and you eat it, but it's not really satisfying. And then later on, you're like, oh, I'm still really hungry. I think that's how it works. It's like they hear it and like, okay, it, it satisfies in some level, but then it's not really filling. And so then it comes up again later, right?
I'm going to tell you, they hear it. Like, I agree with you, right? So they hear it. All right. I mean, here's the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. So you meet a woman, and women want to feel safe and they want to feel secure immediately, right? And they also feel like maybe there might be something. I mean, if they like you and they give you those doe eyes and all of a sudden they give you their body right away after a couple of dates, and, they're talking about this weekend, hinting out that they want to spend time with you, they're looking for a commitment because that's how they're wired. Now, unless they're looking for just sex or they're looking to have fun, when a woman is looking for just sex or fun, they will state it. Otherwise, 99% of it, the rest of it is relationship, right? So they'll look at you and those doe eyes and go, I've never been married before, and it's just very important to me. And I just want to make sure you're on the same page. And a man who is not on the same page will look at her and just use one of these Jedi mind tricks, right? If he lives on the West Coast, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, or Seattle, he'll use some type of airy-fairy remark going, I just want to remain present with you. Because if I remain present, I'm going to be able to just get to know you minute by minute, second by second. And he goes into that deep voice, that very, I'm going to do this. Now on the East Coast, the guy will just be like, yeah, sure. We're good, right? Very fast response. Somewhere in the middle of the country, the man vanishes right in that last moment. Chicago guy fires, right? So a woman will hear that and she'll literally go like, oh, he wants to remain present. Now, if we really wanted to be with them, we would go like, hey, baby, I want everything that you want. Let's just remain present day by day so these feelings can just grow naturally, because I want the same thing you want, because we're able to stand up for ourselves and say to ourselves, yeah, fuck yeah, I want that relationship. Because I remember I Jedi mind tricked people. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was with this girl and she drunk attacked me. You ever been drunk attacked?
Yes.
Okay. So
I think every man has, right? At some point.
So she drunk attacked me. We were at a party, and all of a sudden I came in and I saw the drunk attack eyes, the glazed eyes, and she was kind of banging off of walls, and she had the glass of wine, and it was like noon, and I'm thinking like, oh, fuck, I'm going to be drunk attacked today. And sure enough, by 3 o'clock, she was pointing out a house in the neighborhood. She goes, this is the type of house we should be living in soon. And I'm like, we want something different. Let's remain present. And I'm thinking like, oh, fuck, I'm Jedi mind tricking her again. It's not working. You don't want what I want. I want it now. Tell me, David, tell me you want to be with me. Okay, I want to be with you, but I don't think we're on the same page. I knew it. My friends all told me. And boom, then the friends come in, because the Jedi mind trick, there's a Jedi mind trick club that the friends get together like on a Saturday or Sunday. It's called the Women Jedi Mind Trick Brunch, where they overanalyze our Jedi mind trick stuff. So I realized, because now being in a great relationship, I realized the amount of Jedi mind tricks I have performed over the years. And it was always about, let's just remain present. Now, I am present, but there's also, I am present, but I want a future with somebody, right? And there's a big difference when you use the term let's remain present without saying, yeah, I want the same thing as you. So the next time a woman does that, your new answer is going to be,
Well, here's the thing, right?
I love conflict. This is
Here's
going
the
to be a
thing.
conflict.
Here's the thing. I think there's two different modes, right? There is a time when you use these mind tricks because you actually don't believe that you want the same thing that she wants, and you're actually trying to get out of it, right? But then I think there's another time when you say it and you're actually honest about it. You're just in the moment and you're not even really thinking about how she's way far ahead of you in thought. It's not necessarily that you don't want to go there, but you're not really in that place right now, and you just want to be where you are at the moment, which is fun and whatever. And if you guys get there, cool. And if you don't, then you don't. And so one is, a sense of manipulation on some level, and the other one is just the truth, right? So I think there's a difference in how you use it, but does she hear it the same way, right? Does it still register? Does she still feel like that you're being honest, or that you're just trying to fuck her, or they're trying to fuck with her?
I still think there's a big difference. I still think when we are really into a woman, I'll ask Michael that, right? When you're really into a woman, you will say to her, yeah, I want the same thing. It's almost like breathing. It's like when you meet somebody that's so different than everybody else, meaning, okay, and let's fucking really be really authentic here, right? I think we use the Jedi mind trick when the woman is physically not exactly what we're looking for. And I think the fact is that she's a really good-looking woman, or we're attracted to her. But if we're really honest with ourselves, like we are with our friends, we will always say, hey, how's that new girl? She's great, but there's a yeah but to that. Like, it's her hair's a little too short, or she's just not as hot as I want her to be. And I think that's where we throw the Jedi mind trick shit out there, because if she truly was super fucking hot and sexy, and you thought you were the most beautiful girl you've ever seen, because that's really what it is, you're not Jedi mind tricking. You're just more like, oh, fuck, I love her, man. She's so fucking awesome. I love hanging out with her. And you're more complimentary. You're more, when she says this to you, you're like, oh yeah, baby, yeah, let's remain present, because I believe that too, because the only way to ever find love is to remain present. But if she's hitting you on all cylinders, you want to be able to future talk with her, because then, because you're so present and you're present with your feelings. I think that's the truth. She's either not cool enough, not hot enough, not good enough in bed, and it's just plain and fucking simple. You think you can do better.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, you're probably right. I could see that.
That's the truth. Michael, what about you? Let's be honest, right? Let's give these women an honest evaluation, because I think men, you need, look, you're not going to tell her, look, babe, I could do hotter than you, but it's not going to happen. You're not going to look at a woman that you just had sex with and she wants to fucking Jedi future you, and you just going, no, we just got to remain present. It gives you an idea of that maybe, and this is something that's interesting, and let's put this out there, maybe you're just not going for what you want and you're settling for what you can get. Maybe you don't think you can get, let's go deeper into the mindset. Maybe you don't think you can get that hot woman that you want. Maybe you don't think you deserve the woman that you're most attracted to. And women, don't fucking compare, because I know you can get into that chatter right now, and you can pass this podcast with your friends. Don't compare the fact that I always knew I wasn't pretty enough for it. And every single man, and this is something that I've always told people all the time, we just want to meet the hottest woman for us, okay? I could go, and Obi and I have totally different tastes. We like the same faces and stuff like that, but we have different body types. And I think if, Michael, you and I compared, who knows? You may have a different taste than I have, right? We're looking what's best for us. And I think when a man doesn't go for what he's looking for, and he's settling for what's coming his way because he wants to just swipe instead of approaching, and he's afraid to approach the hot woman or whatever it might be, and he's settling for what comes in, he's going to Jedi mind trick a woman. What about you? Do you use Jedi? If you find a woman that you are unbelievably attracted to on every level, would you Jedi mind trick her? Would you be so fucking in because you finally would say to yourself, yes, she is the beautiful one I've been looking for?
Well, I think in a past life I would have been yes like that, but I feel like giving in too easily kind of brings less value to yourself. So if she does that, and then a man just jumps in and says that, okay, let's do this, let's let's shack up, let's be exclusive, then to me, I believe that she might believe that, because I'm in my mind all the time that yeah, that I'm not showing a lot of value and I can't maintain attraction if I'm just like, you know, being exclusive out of nowhere, just like that. Like I don't have better options.
Wow, you see, that's another thing. You see, there's a man in his head. See, that story is 100% wrong. That's the most bullshit story in the entire world, because the fact is, a woman, watch any romantic comedy, they want a man to be in. Are you kidding me? Once, if you're in, and she knows you're in, the kink, the great sex comes out, the romance comes out on their part. The safer they feel, the better they feel. If they feel like they've got to constantly be validating themselves, or they because that's what that is. The minute, you know, it's this internet legend, you know, where the nerdy Jedi guys, you know, the real nerdy Jedi guys, the guys that actually go to Star Wars opening night and then pretend they're dating experts, those guys, right? You know, they were the PUA guys and stuff like that. And there was no PUA guy in Star Wars. And if there was, it would have been C-3PO. It would have been walking like C-3PO in the original Star Wars. That's all bullshit. Because a woman wants to know that you're in and that you're committed, so then she can finally show up for you. So you have this conception, and this is what's so funny. We all have different stories, and that's why.
This is a recent thing, though. Like before, I jump right in. I'm like, great, you know, this is, you know, a beautiful thing. And then I think you end up making yourself too available and too accessible, and then that's when attraction's lost.
Not at all. Not at all. I've never had that. It's the opposite experience, the opposite story that I've had. I've had every single time I've made myself available, and they've made themselves available. And the attraction, no, the attraction's even better. The sex just gets better and better and better. They get hotter and hotter and hotter, and the relationship flows. I think it comes down to when you're the man. So the fact is, either you picked wrong in the first place, right? So then when you made yourself available, you were connecting with unavailable women, because you got to read the signs of an unavailable woman from the get-go. Then if anybody, and that's what I always tell people, any single time, I mean, just like if Obi does, or I would have done that Jedi mind trick, the woman, that plants the seed of doubt in a woman. And that's why it comes out 30 days later, that seed of doubt, because she's overanalyzed it with the fucking Jedi warrioresses, you know, all the little female warriors. When you're leading in life, you got to lead. And I think the thing is that you have to look deeper into your psychology and who you are as a person, and if you truly believe you need to be with that person. Because if you go and claim somebody, I mean, when I decided I wanted a relationship, I jumped into every single person that I was dating because I wanted to get to know them, and they fucking jumped into, I took their hand, we went into the pool, and we fucking dove into the deep end immediately. No fear at all, because I had no fear. The minute you have fear, the minute you show fear, we're just primal animals, and that's all we are. We're primal animals, and we show that fear, they're going to have that fear. And the minute you Jedi mind trick them and you think you think you've skated around it. I mean, Obi, every time, and I know every time I've used a Jedi mind trick in the past, it came back to bite me in the fucking ass anywhere from a week to a month to 2 months later, depending on how in tune she was with herself. Every time you've used it, has it not come back a bit?
It always comes back. It always comes back around. It's more like it's like a temporary. It's like I don't watch hockey, but it's like, you know, being in the box for a little bit, you know, and then you get to they're back out on the rink, like just a little time later, but it gets you out at that moment. At that moment, you have some space, but it always comes back all the time.
Every single time, man. So how you lead is how it's going to happen. So be true and think to yourself, do you actually date people you want to date? And if you're dating somebody that you're not 100% attracted with, I've been with somebody like that. I had a relationship like that for a while. And I can tell you the entire time I had 1 foot in, 1 foot Jedi mind trick, right? And once a year she'd come to me and crying, and she'd look at me and go, I just don't, you know, and she'd call me out, and I'd sit there and go, no, you're just being crazy. And I was a lot younger. She wasn't being crazy. I made her crazy. You ever been with a girl and you made them crazy? And they go, I've never been like this with anybody else, right? And you think to yourself, yeah, sure, they all just say that. And then you become friends afterwards and you realize they weren't fucking crazy. You made them crazy. You made them fucking nuts. So it comes down to really, and the reality of this is your authenticity. How fucking authentic do you truly want to be with yourself? Think about it. You've got a story. right? You know, your story, I love your story. Your story changes, right? Because you're really at the age right now where you're exploring yourself more and you're trying to figure out exactly who you are and what you want to be. And that's fucking fantastic, right? And we're just really using each experience to see what works and what doesn't. But in reality, the only experience that works is full on authenticity. Be honest, 100% with every fucking human being. And then there's no need for Jedi mind tricks because you're only fooling yourself. Young Luke, right? Should have Star Wars music on right now. Anyway, there's the reality check today. You're only fucking fooling yourself. And women, I hope you enjoyed it. Spread the podcast, post it on other walls because it's time we stop Jedi mind tricking each other. And women, it's time you stop the overanalyzation, speculation brunches. Those brunches are painful. Oh, but you always see a bunch of women out speculating, and right, you could see them out on a Friday night, and they're like literally like have a glass of wine and they're swirling it, and the more they swirl it, the more angry they're getting, right? And you can see they're not looking around the room because they're having a speculation conversation of like, I can't fucking believe you're letting him do that again, but I'm going to give him one more chance. I promised myself I'd give him till November. If you're giving somebody till November, it means that you're not living authentically in January. Hello, the month is number 1. You have to add another 1 next to that. That's 10 fucking months of speculation. Jedi mind trick out.